I think the value of the Legal R&D program in part is this idea of what we just spoke about, of bringing together different perspectives and having law schools be able to be real innovation labs for real clients offers an opportunity for us as clients to be able to tap into that talent, not just as fresh eyes, but they, in addition to fresh eyes, they also have their own world of experiences and their own world of clients and interactions within the classroom that we can benefit for them as well, not just them benefiting from us.
Michigan State Law School is really a leader in experiential education that's driving forward what the future of practice looks like. So there's a tremendous amount of energy and great students who are not just talking about, AI and blockchain and all the future of law and technology, but actually working on projects, getting real-world experience, and like you see today, really facilitating conversations about what the future looks like, taking a leadership role.
I don't know too many schools that have tried to do this, to put together a lab like this where we're working on pro bono and legal aid, but also for-profit type work. And I think there's a lot of value to be had doing this. That was our hypothesis in doing this, right? We're going to talk a little bit later on today about not making, jumping to conclusions and making assumptions, but we wanted to test that theory.
Why do a lab like this? Well, because it adds value. So value for the students, so they get to break away from these law school hypotheticals and work on problems that are real and current. Value for the project partners, so they do get a bit of unpaid help to solve a problem currently plaguing their organization, but I think as we heard earlier, they learn a lot of things from doing these projects and working with these students as well. And then value for the industry. So by breaking out of these law firm, legal aid, law school silos and openly sharing our experiences, we're contributing to the collective knowledge and creativity of the industry, and it's our hope that this will inspire others to do the same, and that we'll continue to see real movement in the improvement of delivery of legal services and access to justice.
I would highly recommend this class to anyone because it is very important. You learn more than just law. You learn how to be a T-shaped lawyer. So you learn about processes, you learn about law, you learn about working in teams, and you gain skills that you can use for the rest of your career.
Yeah, this class definitely gave me personally some advantages. I've interviewed recently for some positions that do this kind of work, and I was able to provide tangible evidence of this is something I've worked on. Here's a logic flow that I made for an app. I took this as my foundation. I was able to create a solution, and the partners I interviewed with showed a lot of interest in that. They're like, hey, tell me more about that. What was that like? And I was able to do a deep dive and discuss all of this project with them and what it meant and what it was able to offer a big client like Perkins Coie. And that's something that this class offers that a lot of classes don't offer. A lot of them deal more in theory and the macro, but we were able to get to the heart of the issue. What does the client want? What does the client need? And how can we use technology and leverage technology to do that?
Well, I believe that I will have a significant advantage over other people who haven't taken classes such as this, simply because it allows you to communicate with other teams, such as the IT department or other engineers, when they're talking about some of these systems or apps that they build, not necessarily that the lawyers build. You'll at least understand where they're coming from or how you can better interface with other groups in a firm besides just lawyers.
I learned a lot about project management that I hadn't learned in any other class because this project spanned the whole semester. So that was very valuable, and then just trying to figure out the technology part, integrating that in. I think this is more real world like than a normal class, so I found a lot of value in that. We do a lot of textbook stuff, and this is actually all hands-on, which I found to be very, very valuable.
We got to work with the partners as well as legal assistant as well as Amani as project manager, and I think that was really great for me personally to get to work with Amani, especially because she has a career which is something I'd love to break into, and getting to work with someone who I truly do look up to and has the exact position I one day hope to have. So amazing to get to work with her on a personal basis, and I don't think I would have been able to do that without this class.
Oh, 100% think that law schools should have more classes like this, and the main reason behind that is because the thing that I liked or loved most about this class and classes like this is the fact that they give you the opportunity to learn something but then also put it into practice, whereas so many of the law school classes are built on legal theory, which is great because you need to know how to be, and think like a lawyer, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to, engage with people, how to work and all that like a lawyer once you get out there. So I think this is very beneficial.
I think that other 2Ls or other students taking this program need to know that you're going to come out with something real and tangible. It's worth your time, it's worth your effort. It's made me a better student, it's going to make me a better lawyer, and I think it's going to make me a 21st century lawyer. So I think you need to know it's worth it and take the time to do it and be enthusiastic about learning something that's it might not be traditional, but it's going to make you a more well-rounded student. It's very worth it.
It's great to see programs like LegalRnD here that are teaching soon-to-be lawyers how to build these things. I would, there are a lot of days where I would give a limb to have an associate or two with some coding experience and who can jump into these. I had the opportunity to spend the time that it took to climb all the learning curves. It would be great to have some younger attorneys so I could leverage for those.
Our view as a firm has largely been to take technologists and teach them the law. And I feel like this experience really validated for us that particularly on these types of apps that are so rooted in legal analysis, we really want people with that legal background to teach them the technology. So that was something that we suspected, but this process really validated that for us.
We had this idea and we're able to see it put into reality and have it user tested, and now we know that this idea will work, and we know a couple improvements, and then we can hopefully unleash it to the 121 people a day who need it.
Unlike moot court, unlike the work that students do on journals, unlike a lot of the extracurricular initiatives in law schools, what the presentations yesterday revealed is that actually students benefit the most when they're actually working on real problems that demand real solutions. And we know they're real problems because law firms and legal organizations crave the opportunities provided by students to actually devote some sustained attention and focus on those particular endeavors. And at least as I could discern, now I wasn't part of one of those legal organizations, but at least as I could discern, the firms that were involved in these, some of the nation's leading law firms and organizations, were thrilled about the contributions and the work that the students were doing under the supervision of faculty.